Hey everyone, it's Crystal. I'm here with your weekend reading for October 11th through the 13th. This reading, I will cover the overall energy, basically focusing on the lesson of each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be putting out a overall pick a card for the full moon in Aries on Sunday, the 13th. So let's get right into the overall lesson of what it is that we are supposed to know or learn from Friday. Okay. Overall energy for Saturday, the 12th. Overall energy of Saturday, the 12th. And of course, overall energy for Sunday, the 13th. All right, so we have very heavy energy, two major arcana cards, which speak about big moments. So let's get into it. So Friday, we have this energy of the Two of Swords in reverse. So the lesson on Friday is, and or was, if you're watching this later, is to know that when you are confused or at a crossroad in your life, or maybe getting mixed signals from other people, sometimes the overall answer is to do nothing at all. And because I say that because the Two of Swords is a place where you can't meditate if you're fearful. You can't meditate. The last thing you want to do is meditate or try to meditate when you're stressed. And you could be thinking, wouldn't that be the thing that I should do? But actually you shouldn't. You have to calm yourself first and then go into meditation. Because if you try to go into meditation with anger, fear, regret, sadness, you're not going to be able to have a clear mind. You're going to be thinking about whatever it is that has put you in that emotional place. So whenever I see the Two of Swords, it gives me that energy too. You cannot make clear decisions when you are at a place of confusion, or when you're at a crossroad, or when you can't quite process yet how you feel about something. It almost gives me that feeling about how some people are like, oh my gosh, it's tarot witchcraft. I've been doing tarot and I just don't know. And I'm not talking about people who are just getting into tarot. You're not going to know. You're not going to know everything when you are starting something, but you have to fill things out for yourself. The last thing I want is for people to just, I would love for you to take my word, but it's a better experience if you learn on your own. If you have the tool set in front of you and you figure out how it works for you. What books I read, what material I've covered, what I've learned from my own personal experience. If you all know me, I will share anything with you, but nothing is like clarity of knowing yourself and doing your own research and following your own spiritual journey. And you most definitely don't want to be hopping in the spiritual realm doing readings for people if you haven't deciphered yet if it's evil or good, or if you're still at a place of fear of thinking that things are automatically, you have to do your research. You all don't take anybody's word. Feel things out with your soul, with your vibration, to make sure it's for you. Okay. And like I say, you can't blame evilness on cards. It's the person behind whatever tool they are using. Now, with the Two of Swords, and the lesson on Friday is you have to see things for yourself. And sometimes when you're confused and you don't know what to do, you have to take a step back and not do anything at all. All right. Now, the next card we have for Saturday, we have the Death card, which is killing off the last parts of yourself that have held you back with what it is that you've been needing. And what I mean by that is, or what you desire, what you've been going after. The death card says transition. It speaks about that fear that we were talking about also, because the death card is one of the most feared cards in the deck, but it's actually one of the most beautiful cards that you can receive, because most of what we have been taught, most of the things that we have been fed for so many years are dead and old belief systems. And besides belief systems, this is saying Saturday, you will be faced with some new transition, some new change, whether it's a new change within yourself, deading old parts of you that used to be self-sacrificing for others that weren't self-sacrificing for you. For some of you all, this will just be a very deep energy connecting with deeper studies in occult and your religion, and just really feeling things on a very spiritual level. A lot of you all Saturday too will be thinking about certain relationships you want to end. All of that. More so, it depends on wherever this full moon is happening for you. But the death card is one that says it's a cycle. It's a cycle that we all have to come to terms with. And sometimes we fight against cycles that are old, cycles that are outdated, people that are outdated. And the death card is a heavy hitter of, well, today will show you exactly who that person is and what they're all about. And if you can't face the music or get with the program, then you're going to have a hard time Saturday, because you have to be real. You have to be honest. And just to talk a little bit about the astrology, Mercury, what's on our mind, how we think, how we talk, depending on where that placement is, it tells about what we're thinking about. So Mercury is currently in Scorpio, which is all about the deeper hidden things that nobody wants to really talk about: sex trafficking, rape, past life trauma, negative people, just all of these things that are really deep. So Saturday is going to be a deep day. I don't feel like it's going to have a vibe of fun, and it could be fun. Like, I love spirituality. It's fun to me, but everything will have a deeper meaning. That's what I'm getting at. Even if you go to an amusement park, you'll notice that little birds just seem to connect to you, or everything that you normally just look at for face value is not being looked at in that way anymore. So if you're faced with something that deals with anxiety, fear, sadness, being ashamed of who you are, you're going to want to dead it today. Okay. And so now let's get into the energy of Sunday. We have the Devil in reverse. And the Devil in reverse is breaking you out of your mental slavery. Is breaking you out of anything that you've been wanting to free yourself of. The Devil in reverse is a card that you want to see. Keep in mind also, we have that full moon, a buildup of energy, and it's in Aries, the warrior, the soldier, our personality, our fire, who we are, what I stand for. I can only speak my truth. Aries is not concerned. It's not an energy concerned with how you feel about what I have to say. I have an agenda I have to reach, and this is what I'm going to do. And I am breaking myself away from anything that keeps me away from what I want. And nothing is wrong. That's why a lot of people get it misconstrued in the spiritual realm. They think that you have to let go of ego completely. No, it's balanced with everything. You just can't be extremely ego filled and think that things are just going to go exactly the way that you want them to go. But you do have to know who you are. And if we think back to times where we were in abusive relationships or hurtful situations, or even just worried about what our parents thought about us, we were living in a place of fear. It felt like we were in bondage in some way. It felt like we were trapped or stuck. And this Devil in reverse is freeing you to be yourself, to speak your truth, to say who you are. Now, with that being said, you don't owe anyone any explanation as to who you are or why you do the things that you do. But Sunday is going to be a very freeing day of figuring out who you are. And a lot of you will be breaking out of old negative systems that you once lived under or by. So really heavy energy these next few days. During full moons, I like to retreat. I like to study. It depends on what the moon energy is about. I do find that with this moon specifically, which I'm going to do a separate video on, I am feeling very much about myself and taking care of myself and who I am and how I can be a better service to you all, to my family, to myself. So yes, it's going to be a very powerful hunter's moon on Sunday. Aries rules the color red. Okay, so you might want to wear some red, maroon colors, things like that, just to kind of bring about that energy. And you all, comment down below how you've been feeling. You know, when the Friday, how do you feel? How have you all been? What was the vibe? Saturday, Sunday, you all are more than welcome to communicate with me. I try to get to every single comment that I see, to at least heart it, at the least to let you know I've acknowledged you and I've seen you. But I pretty much comment back to every person who leaves me a comment. So we can definitely do that. And if it's any pick a card videos that you want me to do or anything like that, feel free to comment down below and I will eventually get to them at some point. Okay, so have a great weekend and I will see you all later.